Leo.
Hello Leo, Happy New Year 2015. Isn't it amazing just how time flies on us? So, we're starting off this year and we're going to be looking at the long-term transit of Mars and why. Well, Mars is our goal, our directions, our ambitions, our desires, our energy level, and this is where it's going to give us our dynamic focus on the various aspects, the windows of opportunity that's coming throughout this year. Now, Mars normally takes 2 years to go around the chart once, and throughout this 1 year, it's only going to go halfway through the chart. So the other side of the chart won't be affected directly by Mars, even though it can bring aspects and transits into it. But its motion will be giving direct areas where you can focus this energy and make the most out of it. So this is how we're going to be predicting what's going to be happening for you here this year. Now, Mars is starting out here in your 7th house of relationships. You will have that with you until that of January 13th. So make the most of it. It's going to be until 2017 that Mars is going to come back around to this area and energize it. Okay, so whatever it is for you, I believe your dynamic goal, or should I say focus, will be expressed in this area. But you can also come to see that men around you, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter, but men around you might be even more so here direct and pinpointed towards you, getting your attention, wanting your attention. So now from January 13th, it's going to move into your 8th house. Here it will remain until that of February 20th. So within these approximate 6 weeks, your goal and your essence will be looking into that of shared resources. And that could be money that you have with your partner, your significant other. It could also mean royalties, commissions, any kind of investments, that kind of thing. Maybe mortgages and loans and so forth. Taxes also, or inheritance. So you may be working here within this time frame to improve or straighten out things, and it's also the house of intimacy. It's the house of Scorpio, right? So we keep things close to heart. We relate very symbiotically. It is Scorpio, so you might see an intensity taking place, shape, and form in this area as well. Okay, as far as passion and that goes, Mars rules passion. Now, from April 1st through that of May 13th, Mars is then now in your 9th house. This would be a great time and opportunity for you to either start some new classes. Education is what the 9th house is all about, higher education, but it could be research, and it's also about foreign places, people, cultures, traveling. It's the house of Sagittarius. So Mars right now might be a little antsy at this time, maybe wanting to take a longer trip journey or get into research to find some higher knowledge. Sagittarius is all about philosophy, looking at the world, from a higher perspective. So here, right now, you can obtain a lot of this instantaneous knowing that a lot of times that the Sagittarian gets, because they're just attuned to that higher vibe. When we get to April 1st through that of May 13th, then Mars is going to shift into the area of career. This would be a glorious time for you now to get ahead, to step it up. It won't be until that of 2017 that you're going to have the same opportunity to really push forward now passionately in setting up your career, getting it to where you want it to go, to have those talks and discussions perhaps with those higher up if you are employed. Now, if you are self-employed, well, it being in the sign here of A Taurus, well, that is all about value, self-esteem too, and how you're working with your career. So you'll see how that's going to tie in, and you're really going to feel that you want what it is you deserve. Okay, so you're going to be a go-getter as far as that is concerned. Now, May 13th through that of June 25th, here it's in the area of groups, friendships too. So you might be catching up, spending a little bit more time with friends that you haven't been able to see for a while, but it's also a time where you can attract new people into your life, more like-minded, because we evolve as we grow, right? And we have our group, our network, our friends, but as we grow, there's new things to talk about, and this is where we're attracting people so that we can have that new area to discuss and share amongst ourselves. So, but it's also social media. You might see that you're spending more time on social media, or also wanting to use it to expand your business. The internet is big now over the last decade, where many more businesses are going online, and then marketing is totally different from what it once used to be. So you might be spending time figuring out how this can pertain to you, for example. For others, it might be affiliating with, signing up with new groups or maybe organizations where you can dedicate some of your own passion, so to speak, your drive and motivation. And this is good till you get until June 25th, because then Mars is going to be moving into your 12th house. This is a time to rest up, Leo. Just because it's been very busy, especially those last 3 months, they're boom, 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 right? So time to put your feet up, relax, whatever you do when you do relax, that's what you want to do now. And for many of you, it would be taking a little journey to the spa and really just get worked over inside out. You know, the 12th house is also the house of Pisces and Neptune, and it's about dreaming and visualizing, being creative. So you want to pay attention to, maybe keep a little journal of where your mind is going, where your soul is seeking to those higher grounds. Why? Because it's when we dream or daydream that we can open up for visions from those higher realms that can trickle down through our chakras and actually become something that you can work with in the upcoming months. So already, as we get into August 9th, well, then here we have it. We got Mars now in your sign. And that will just shoot you straight to the stars. You're already a fire sign person. And so now you're a double fire. Mars is all gung-ho, and it's reloaded and recharged those batteries here of the last 6 weeks. So your surroundings, people around you will just see exactly how Marsy you are, ready to get on with it, dynamically so, and always in a big style as it is with Leo. It's never in a small way, and especially because you still have Jupiter here. Okay, you've had Jupiter now since that of last year. It will remain with you in this first house, expanding this area straight through the New Year's until we come into August 12th. Then Jupiter is going to leave your sign, but it's moving into the next area, which is, I think, something you'll be quite happy about. It's going to be now entering for an entire year of your income, money and income. And anything Jupiter does, it expands. So you might just see how you can come to improve your money, your income base from August 12th and straight through that of summer of 2016. So yes, Mars, back to Mars. Mars is going to join up with that. Jupiter there, and the two of them are going to do the dance, and whenever we have a conjunction, two planets meeting up, then we have an initiation. It's like a trigger, starting something. So here late summer might be the best time to initiate some new concepts that you have been cooking on the back burner. Then we have September 26th, okay? Mars is now out of that first house into the second house of money and income. And who's there? Jupiter's there. Jupiter has already moved in there August 12th. So now the two of them can do the dance, and Mars will invigorate and set fire to this house and actually help you shake money out of the money tree. So there might be some expenses because we like to spend money when we have it. And the second house and Jupiter is there, so it wants to spend. You might just find that you are extra generous, but you can also find that the universe is being extra generous, bringing money to you as well. So wonderful time there. This will run between September 26th to that of November 13th. Write down those notes, or also come back and re-listen to this specific reading maybe once or twice throughout that of 2015, so you can refresh the memory of what we're going through here. I think is a very smart thing to do. It will also allow you to kind of look back over what has taken place on those previous months and still give you the insights of what is yet to come. All right. So, and I just want to mention too, we still have more to talk about, but I still want to mention too that even for the New Year readings, you can also listen to your moon or rising sign, because they will also pertain to you and your 2015 forecast for the entire year. Just like usual, okay, like normal. Listen to those, you get even more extracted from it. But okay, November 13th, Mars is then on its last leg of the year. It's going to be there straight throughout to the end of the year. It's moving into the sign of Libra. Libra is your third house. So communication. Mars is going to be very Marsy here, communicating and sharing ideas, listening and speaking and sharing. And for those of you who love to write and journal, this will be a time where I see your pen flying off the hook. It's also a time to do short distance travel, maybe out of town or just back and forth a whole lot to and fro. And I see you spending a lot of time with your neighbors perhaps. Siblings might be needing your help a little bit more because Mars is extending itself. This is you extending yourself to siblings, neighbors, and those around that might have a little bit more need for your attention. So that's where your focus is going to be there. That's how the year ends with Mars, but we're going to talk a little bit about the long-term transits that have been in your specific areas for a number of years and still going to be there for a few years. So we're going to start off with Uranus. Now Uranus is that genius energy that we have. Mercury rules our thoughts, the linear type of communication. Now Uranus is the higher octave of that, Mercury. It doesn't just give us a one-liner like from A to Z. It downloads full zip files, and it just unleashes a sense of higher knowingness in flashes, instantaneous flashes of knowingness. This is in your ninth house. For the higher realms, your philosophical outlook on life, and where you're reaching to metaphysically move beyond just the normal five physical senses of the human experience. So you're pretty much growing here now, getting more into the knowledge of and experience of your astral body and realm, and those higher realms. We can go on and on with that. But yes, so you're halfway through this area now. There's been a lot of changes going on in the way you once looked at the world and the way you're looking at the world now. Especially for those of you that are born from the start of Leo halfway through. You've already undergone these changes and now already embodying a lot of this new insight. For the rest of you Leos, you still have it coming, and you will see how you're bursting through. It's like the cracking of the shell of an egg and peeling off one layer after the other like in an onion of the old ways of thinking, the ways your parents and grandparents used to think, and how you're individualizing yourself as you're heightening your consciousness, opening up these higher chakras. Then we have Neptune in your 8th house. Many of you, especially those born, I would like to say the first third or the first quarter, perhaps more so, of your sign, you have been experiencing a deeper sense of passion than before, and a deeper sense of spiritual connection too, with the world or specific people in the world in this way. Neptune is in Pisces, which is really opening up your hearts, feeling more that heightened sense of love, the otherworldly type of love, the unconditional love, things that you would never have put up with in the past. Suddenly now you're finding yourself being so giving and forgiving in ways you haven't. And it startles you a little bit because you're not just a very private person, but you hold things close to heart too. It is because Neptune's in the 8th house of Scorpio, but these two elements, they're harmonious because both Scorpio and Pisces, they're both water signs. So you're seeing how karma, perhaps, is unfolding in a higher understanding. You're seeing how to connect the dots in totally different ways than you did years ago. And it's helping to have that Uranus up in the 9th house, because between these two, you are transforming. You're becoming more of the spiritual experience, not just the human experience. That's not saying that you Leos have not been spiritual for years, because you have. It's just now you're using it differently. Your experiences coming to you that the universe is bestowing upon you are different, or the way you're tackling it might be different. And so, however that works for you. But then we have Pluto. Pluto has been and will be still for years to come in your 6th house, and you've come to see how it's changing up your day-to-day routines. There's a big transformation going on there. Some of you went through some health situations earlier. Pluto can do that, but it's only so it can bring attention to what is important and how to now turn into healthier ways, I believe. It's transforming also how you interact with coworkers, those around you in your daily life, and also how you can set up your routines so you can become more efficient at work without having clutter. It could easily clutter in this area, but Pluto's kind of teaching you to say, let go of it. If you're not using it, let go. Pluto purges things, so you're purging those things out of your life you no longer need. It's only material, right? So we have that. Now, retrogrades, good news here for you, and I don't think I mentioned it in this segment here for Leo, but the good news is that Mars, which is our drive, our focus, our ambition, our goals, our passion, has no retrogrades throughout that of 2015. It's going to be just a straight on going long haul of total dedicated physical energy given to each of these areas of life that I've outlined to you, so that you can be quite focused and get a lot accomplished in a very short amount of time without having to go through the retrogrades, the delays and everything. So as opposed to how it was in 2014, where a lot of things were touch and go and delays, here we're going to see this is a smooth going 2015. So this year it's like catching up double time from what 2014 did to you. But we do have our Mercury retrogrades, of course. We have that every year, 3 phases. And actually, once you come to love Mercury retrograde, you will look forward to it, because it always gives us time to catch up with old people or old friends and circumstances, and also gives us a chance to go back and tweak and redo and go over details and perfect something, because normally we're so busy that it's always, forward going and future oriented, that we sometimes miss some things along the roadside. And those retrogrades allows us to go back and pick it up and go, hey, here's a jewel, all right? So they're good. Now, the first one is January 21st through that of February 11th. We don't want to sign anything under these Mercury retrogrades unless we can't avoid it. If you have to, you have to, but it does minimize defects, all right? The second one will be May 18th through that of June 11th. And the third phase is September 17th through October 9th. So those are those 3 phases, and we have Jupiter. Jupiter went retrograde December 9th, 2014, and it will go direct again April 9th. So those first, say, 3 months, nearly into that 3rd month, is all about Jupiter also looking back to opportunities that came to you in 2014 that maybe you just passed by because you were busy over here, not seeing the opportunity here. So good things can come back to us under a Jupiter retrograde. So pay attention to what might present itself until that of April 9th. And then Jupiter will go direct. And it will stay and remain in your sign until that of August 12th. We mentioned that. And then it's going to leave that first house and get into your financial house and your income. So that's just a blessing. It happens once every 12 years. So when it gets there, I know that you Leos will appreciate it and what it can do for you. So that's what we have here for you, this reading. So do listen to your moon and rising sign too, so you can get even more out of your 2015 full year forecast. And listen to your partner just to see what he or she too is going through with that big Mars cycle that we're talking about, so you guys can get on the same page or know at least a little bit more where he or she is going to be angling at. So I'll see you next time. Have a good one.